Hello, my name is Keith Hatchett. Welcome to our program today. We're so glad to be with you. We want you to know that we spent a lot of time putting our program together over many years, and we've created what we believe to be the absolute solution to the Affordable Care Act. Who am I? How did I know how to do this? I was in the business and I looked, and I have the collection experience, the hospital experience, dealing with the patients, dealing with the insurance companies, dealing with the government. So what we want you to understand is, why was the Affordable Care Act created, and how are our solutions going to correct it? It's like the Affordable Care Act went this way and then it got sidetracked off onto a side road. Okay, it's got many good pieces, but it's got some very bad pieces. And as my mother would say, if both sides win, now you can win. And that's what we're going to show you today. So let's do a little detailed history about the Affordable Care Act. Many years ago, I talked to some of my advisors, and they've correctly predicted the bubbles in this country. The dot-com bubble, and in 2008, the bubble that had to do with the housing market. So these guys know what the heck they're doing. They're in the know. They're in the Baltimore, Washington, D.C. area. And they came to me and they said, Keith, your life health program is awesome. At that time, it had more limited benefits, and it's morphed into what it is today, but it's awesome. And they said what they're going to do, though, is they're going to create a program that's kind of going to destroy what you're doing. And I said, really? They said, yeah, and you need to think of a way in which you can take what you're doing here and make it better, and also put it in other markets. And we've done that, and we'll talk to you about that later. But why did they create this Affordable Care Act? In 1974, when Gerald Ford was president, they created the Employment Retirement Income Savings Act, which created 401ks. So there's what's called DB pensions and DC pensions. A defined benefit would be like my father. My father was a chemical engineer for 45 years. When he retired, he gets X amount of dollars every month as a pension. That's a defined benefit. But one of the problems with ERISA is it created a law that states that it's a 401k, which is a match. So if you as the employee do not put any money in, the employer gets out and they don't have to put any money in. Whereas a defined benefit program, it's a guaranteed pension when my father retired, for example. So this DC benefit program caused some serious problems because a lot of employees just, quite frankly, didn't put the money in there. And many pension funds were bled, companies were bought, pension funds were stolen. There's all kinds of things that went on back in those days. But basically what you need to know for today's segment is that the 401ks were created, but it had a serious flaw in the law. And this flaw had to do with the IRS. The IRS states, okay, we're going to allow this match, we're going to let this money grow tax deferred, but someday we want there to be a time when there's a law or a date when people have to take their money out, and then the IRS can get their pound of flesh. This age was 70 and a half. It doesn't say you can't still put money in the market. It does say that you have to start taking systematic withdrawals or get a huge tax penalty. This is the greatest amount of people that's ever hit retirement at one time, okay? And we believe it's going to cause the next bubble burst. There's 70 million people between 2016, which is last year, and another 17 years from now, by law, have to start taking systematic withdrawals on their money. So if Medicare, Social Security are going to run out of money, we cannot have civil war in this country because all the seniors don't have insurance and retirement dollars, okay? So what are we going to do? My advisors and myself and the research I've come up with show where the Affordable Care Act was basically created. It says in kind of the back fluff pages of it that it was created to lower the deficit, but really it was to keep Medicare and Social Security going. So this is why they raise the deductible, which lowers what they have to pay. This is why they raise the price at the same time, which everyone's upset about, to bring more money in. This is why they lowered what doctors and hospitals can charge. In addition, what happened was they started lowering what insurance agents' commissions are going to be. And my advisor said, Keith, you're going to see where they're going to start lowering your commissions down to where you make almost nothing. Then they put in another item, which is called an enrollment period. So from November 1st to February 1st is the only time, with 5 exceptions, that an insurance agent can write you health insurance. This makes us where we're not able to write health insurance 9 months out of the year unless you have a baby, marriage, divorce, moving to a new area, or change of job, okay? And then next year, it's scheduled to go down to like a couple of weeks in the year 2017. So the thing that bothers me the most about this is they put this program in place where it looks like, oh, we're going to cover pre-existing conditions and all these lower income people are going to get health care for the first time, when the fact of the matter is they put these pre-existing conditions in, forced the big five insurance companies and the Blue Crosses around the country to cover these pre-existing conditions, okay? And when they did, it's run through their money, okay? And now these insurance companies, Assurant is already out of business. They've closed their offices in Milwaukee. Humana recently just pulled out of the entire marketplace for the Affordable Care Act. Not the group health insurance of 50 or more employees, but the individuals that have to purchase health care in this country, all right? And now what we're gonna have left is this broken down, one-pay system from the government, okay? This doesn't have to be like this. With my program, you will see how we can get the price down, get the benefits up, and there's multiple paychecks to come in that can supplement Medicare and Social Security and keep it alive. At Go Insurance Pal, we have created a true win-win-win situation. The government will be able to win because they'll be able to get the price down, the benefits up, all while funding Medicare and Social Security, so those people win. The insurance agents will be back in business and they can do their thing that they do so greatly through our system, and they win, and the American people win. Go Insurance Pal, protection against liability.